saying hello and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and today is Thursday, also known as Thursday, November 3rd, 2022. So let's get into the history, shall we? Starting in the year 361, Roman Emperor Constantius II died at Mobscurion en route to put down his general and cousin Julian, whose troops had proclaimed him Augustus. Uh-oh. So Augustus is like the Caesar or something. It's a title of something. Yeah. Actually, let's see here. What does Augustus mean? Ancient Rome. Augustus was an ancient Roman title given as both name and title to Gaius Julius Caesar Octavius, often referred to simply as Augustus, Rome's first emperor. So by labeling somebody Augustus, they're recognizing him as emperor, and this guy is the current emperor, so that's an uh-oh. Moving on up into 1493, Christopher Columbus discovered the island of Dominica, which was originally inhabited by the Kalinago. Yep, Columbus. I would suggest go check out Adam Ruins Everything about Christopher Columbus for the truth. Moving on up into 1534, English Parliament passed the Act of Supremacy, making Henry VIII and all subsequent monarchs the head of the Church of England. Yep. Because he wanted to get divorces and whatnot, and the Vatican wouldn't let him, so he split off and made his own religion. So, yeah. 1579, Francis Drake arrived at Ternate in the East Indies and makes a trade deal with the Sultan of Ternate, buying a cargo of gloves. Not gloves, cloves. That's a big difference. So I wonder what kind of cloves, like garlic, clovers, 4-leaf clovers. I don't know. Then we got another historic event here in 1629, Prince Frederick Henry Festival in The Hague. Okay, so I guess just a festival for Prince Henry. Good for him. And 1716, Pacification Treaty of Warsaw, Tsar Peter the Great guaranteed Saxon monarch August I's Polish kingdom, which essentially means he's guaranteeing that their independence or their freedom or something, like guarantee, as it's used in like sales and everything. Although it's a very cheap word these days. Politically, it can really have a lot of consequences. So like if you guarantee a company, like this is what happened with World War II. The UK guaranteed Poland and all that stuff, and then Poland got taken over, and then politically they were forced to do something about it, but they weren't doing something about it because Neville Chamberlain. So 1752, George Frederick Handel underwent a failed eye operation. All the way back in the 1700s. Wow. You know what? When was the first eye operation? When was the first eye operation? 1753. Samuel Sharp performed the first documented intracapsular cataract extraction. With this, the entire lens, including the lens capsule, is removed through a large imbile incision. Samuel Sharp used his thumb to expel the cataract from the eye. So that's interesting. And that's 1753. So this is before that. So that's weird. So I guess this is just cataract specifically, because this was a year before. Moving on up into 1783, George Washington ordered Continental Army disbanded. Yep, and that didn't last long because then it reformed into the U.S. Army. At some point, we must have had a sitting army at some point before the War of 1812, and that was just a couple decades after that. So Moving on up into 1793, French playwright, journalist, and feminist Olympe de Gouges was guillotined. Ooh, those French like their guillotines. We got an election of interest in 1796. John Adams was elected as second president of the United States of America. Yep, George Washington, and then John Adams, and then all these other names that I can't remember. Shame on me. So, finally getting up into the 1800s, 1812, Napoleonic armies defeated at Vyazma. So he was defeated. And in 1860, poet and critic Matthew Arnold began his series of lectures on translating home as Oxford Professor of Poetry at Oxford University. Oh, that's cool. In 1867, battle at Mentana, French and Papal troops defeated Giuseppe Garibaldi. He was a great unifier of Italy, and he was defeated by the French, no less. Hey, welcome to the show, Hippie Fukin. How you doing today? Moving on up, one more year later in 1868, Ulysses S. Grant won U.S. presidential election over Horatio Seymour, Republican and Democrat, respectively. So. And then moving on up in 1889, Menelik II was crowned Emperor of Ethiopia at the Church of Mary on Mount Entoto. Yep, it can always be worse. It can be better, but it can be worse. You know? Like, what was it that was said in one of the Batman movies? At least I don't have a gaping hole, oozing blood in my face. So, there's that. 1896, William McKinley of the Republicans defeated William Jennings Bryan, Democrat, to be the President of the United States. Yep, this is it's election season, so we're going to be... actually, I just read that. 1899, World Heavyweight Boxing Champion James J. Jeffries retained title, defeating Irishman Tom Sharkey on points in 25 rounds at Coney Island Athletic Club, Brooklyn, New York City. Why does this guy look like? Earl or Hardy, like whichever one, the round one, I think Hardy. So, I think Dad pointed that out. He really does. Moving on up into the 1900s, 1905, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia signed a document of amnesty for the political prisoners. Okay. Well, why are they prisoners? Because of politics. That's not cool. And why is this not highlighted? 1906, International Radio Telegraph Conference in Berlin selected SOS, or ... as a distress signal as the worldwide standard for help. That is very big. Why is that not highlighted? I'm disappointed, yet again, with the source. 1908, William Howard Taft, Republican, was elected 27th U.S. President over William Jennings Bryan of the Democrats. And 1911, Chevrolet officially entered the automobile market in competition with the Ford Model T. And as we all know, Ford stands for Fix or Repair Daily. So, yep. And then we got an appointment of interest here. In 1926, legendary baseball figure Ty Cobb resigned as Detroit Tigers manager, replaced by George Moriarty, first man to hold MLB's 4 principal jobs: player, umpire, scout, and manager. Well, that's intriguing. Moriarty, like, isn't there somebody I know named Moriarty or Moriartis or something? I swear it's some kind of fish that heckles. I don't know. Anyway, moving on up into 1926, Rodgers and Hart's musical Connecticut Yankee, based on Mark Twain's A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, opened at the Vanderbilt Theater in New York City, running for 421 performance. What am I doing? 421. It's easy. I just remove fingers. What am I doing? Performances. Moriarty was also the enemy of Sherlock Holmes. I did not know that. So. 1930, Bank of Italy was renamed Bank of America. There you go. There you go. Bank of America is not the Bank of America. It's the Bank of Italy. And it got its start when the great earthquake and the subsequent fire at San Francisco destroyed pretty much everything. And then the Bank of Italy at the time, which is now Bank of America, was handing out loans and everything, and that's how they got their big break. Because they used to be just one little storefront. 1930, Giulio Dornelles Vargas became head of the provisional government in Brazil after a bloodless coup on October 24th. We got a baseball record. 4 years later, 1934, the New York Yankees first baseman Lou Gehrig won American League Triple Crown after hitting .363 with 49 home runs and 165 runs batting in. But Philadelphia A's catcher Mickey Cochrane, .320, 2 home runs and 76 RBIs, was named American League MVP. That's not cool. The guy had better stats, I think. The first guy, Lou Gehrig had better stats, right? I'm not sure. I don't know how to read baseball stuff. Then we got some more elections. In 1936, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt won a second term in office, defeating Republican candidate Alf Landon in the most lopsided election in United States history in terms of electoral votes. Something tells me there's some shenanigans afoot with the vote countings with that. 1941, Hirohito's accord on Yamamoto's attack plan on Pearl Harbor failed. So accord, so explaining why it won't work or something. I'm not entirely sure. Audience, if you can look into the more specifics about that, that would be very amazing. Thank you. But yeah, no, we're coming up a couple months here. We're gonna be talking about Pearl Harbor. So, 1942, the Boston Red Sox outfielder Ted Williams won American League Triple Crown at .356 average, 36 home runs, and 137 RBIs. But New York Yankees pitcher Joe Gordon is American League MVP. Another instance of this. What is this BS? They don't even tell us his stats on this one. So come on. Man, where's Scott when you need him? 1943, Dmitri Shostakovich's Eighth Symphony premiered in Moscow. Okay. And 1946 as well. No, 3 years later, 1946, Emperor Hirohito proclaimed a new Japanese constitution. Yep, and I was just watching a video last night about the outstanding reconstruction time they did. Within 20 years, they went from being a bombed out, war-torn husk to the third largest economy in the entire world. The Japanese are efficient. They're robotic, actually. Maybe they're the lizard people we should start keeping an eye on. 2 years later, 1948, second NHL All-Star Game, Chicago Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. All-Stars defeated Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1. Gordie Howe's first of 23 All-Star appearances. Cool. Another historic event here in 1952, Clarence Birdseye marketed frozen peas, and we thank him for that. I think we spoke about his patent or something a couple days ago, something like that. But we don't use Birdseye anymore because of Monsanto GMOs, and Monsanto is owned by Bill Gates and all that stuff, yada yada. But we do buy the microwavable, other brands and such. In 1955, Argentine ex-president Juan Perón arrived in Nicaragua. Okay. I've heard the name Juan Perón, but I'm not entirely sure if it's good or bad. It's just I've heard of it. Polio, 1955 as well. Scientists Carlton E. Schwartz and Fred L. Schaefer announced they have crystallized the pure polio virus, meaning they can better determine the virus's chemical and biological properties. Yeah, I've said this before and I'll say it again. My dad grew up, during all of that stuff, and polio scared the shit out of him, and it would do the same to me. Can you imagine being a kid and seeing other kids your age, you're 7 years old running around, playing soccer or whatever, and then, you know that there's kids, that are going to spend the rest of their lives in these iron lungs. That's oh man, I can't even comprehend. I can't even make a word to how, miserable that is. Moving on up into something a little bit less miserable, 1956, the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz was televised for the first time, hosted by Burt Lahr and 10-year-old Liza Minnelli, in the final of the 4-star Jubilee series on CBS TV. And something interesting about this movie, it's a really quick scene, but the Scarecrow at one point has a revolver to fight against the witch. So, 1957, Soviet Union launches Sputnik 2 with space dog Lakia aboard, a mostly Siberian husky, the first animal in space. Yep. Moving on up into 1959, David Ben-Gurion's Mapai Party won Israeli parliamentary elections. Not surprising. This guy looks like Bernie Sanders, as I said the other day. And as I said the other day as well, Bernie Sanders always needing your financial assistance. despite being a millionaire and having multiple properties and, all these other investments and whatnot. But of course he needs your money, because politicians are really addicted to OPM, other people's money, so that's for sure. 1961, UN General Assembly unanimously elected U Thant as acting Secretary General after the death of Dag Hammarskjöld in a plane crash. That's unfortunate. But what a name, U Thant. Like, you, soldier boy. 1962, San Francisco Warriors center Wilt Chamberlain scored 72 points in 127-115 defeat to LA Lakers at LA Memorial Sports Arena, which was then the fourth highest point total in National Basketball Association history, and it currently remains the sixth highest game total. So it went down by 2, so that's interesting. But from 1962 to 2022, 60 years, only went down by 2 levels. That's really good. 1 year later, 1963, Joe Weatherly finished 7th in the season, ending Golden State 400 at Riverside International Raceway, retaining NASCAR Sprint Cup by 2,228 points from 14-time winner Richard Petty. And I want that hat. I'm a hat guy. 1964, Lyndon B. Johnson was elected President of the United States in a landslide with Hubert Humphrey as his Vice President, defeating Republican candidate Barry Goldwater. Never even heard about Goldwater. Yeah, this guy looks a little bit like that puppet from Spitting Image, the guy with the inflating head. A little bit. We got a baseball record. 1965, Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Sandy Koufax was named Cy Young Award winner by a unanimous vote and for a third time, posting a 26-8 record, 1.73 ERA, and record-shattering 382 strikeouts. Good Lord. 1968, Bob Packwood was elected Senator of Oregon. Okay, why is that highlighted? Why do we care about Oregon? Okay. 1968 as well, David Pearson was declared NASCAR Grand National Champion as Cale Yarborough won season-ending Peach State 200 at Jefferson, Georgia. Pearson finished 126 points ahead of Bobby Isaac to secure his second title. And which way do I do? Peace or FU? Depending on which way. I guess this is the British FU, but whatever. 1968 as well, English Lotus driver Graham Will won his second Formula One World Drivers' Championship by taking out the Mexican Grand Prix at Autodromo Hernando Rodriguez, winning title by 12 points from Scotsman Jackie Stewart. This guy again. Woo! 1970, Marxist Salvador Allende was inaugurated as president of Chile. Not good. Chile, always a problem. Not as bad as Argentina, though. But Argentina really is just the California of the South. 1970, U.S. President Richard Nixon promised gradual troop removal from Vietnam. I believe he honored that slightly. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know the exact history. I can't know everything. So, we got some more sports history. In 1975, Chris Evert became the first tennis player to achieve the #1 ranking as the WTA Tour Rankings debut. Everett held the top spot for first 26 weeks. That's a good stint. And some more baseball here. In 1982, pitcher Pete Vukovich became Milwaukee Brewers' second consecutive American League Cy Young Award winner, edging out Jim Palmer of the Baltimore Orioles. Vukovich 18-6 with 105 strikeouts and 3.34 ERA. I don't know what ERA is. An assassination. That was yesterday. 1984, the body of assassinated Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was cremated. So she was not assassinated yesterday. She was assassinated a few days ago, October 31st on Halloween, at the age of 66. Really unfortunate. So, because she was good. She, don't judge a book by its cover. She was a good person. 1985, Billy Elliott won Atlanta Journal 500 at Atlanta Raceway to become the first driver to win 11 superspeedway races in one season. Also the first driver to win $2 million in prize money in a single season. Wow. Earned run average. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know shit from Shinola involving sports and such. I know a little bit about baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, the standards. You talk to me about cricket, no, you might as well talk to me in Mandarin or something. At least that'll make a little bit more sense to me. 1985, French McLaren driver Alain Prost won his first Formula One World Drivers' Championship, finishing 4th in the Australian Grand Prix in Adelaide, winning title by 20 points from Italian Michele Alboreto. Okay. We got an album released in 1986, John Lennon, Menlove Avenue, album released posthumously. So yeah, he died. That's right, he was shot. When was he shot? 1980, so this was 6 years after his death. Historic invention, 1987, Gordon Gould issued U.S. patent US 4704583 for the laser, ending its 30-year battle to be credited as the inventor of the laser. Thank you. Without lasers, we wouldn't have mice like this. So, yeah. And optics and weaponry and, phone stuff. And my file folder is going to pop up any second now. Actually, no, it won't. Unplug my phone. In 1987 as well, New York Rangers center Marcel Dion became just the second NHL player to register 1,700 career points, scoring a goal in 5-3 loss at Calgary. That same year, wow, we were just stuck in 87, aren't we? Oakland A's first baseman Mark McGwire won American League Rookie of the Year with 49 home runs, 118 RBI, second to win American League award unanimously, first Carlton Fisk, 1972. Carlton Fisk, is that another award or something, or is that another baseball player? Not entirely sure. Then 1988, finally getting out of the 87s, President Reagan signed credit card disclosure bill. Good. They really do need to disclose everything, but honestly, credit cards need to go. Oh, this guy. 1988, talk show host Geraldo Rivera's nose was broken as Roy Innes brawls with skinheads at TV taping. So he got punched by a skinhead? That's kind of funny. I mean, that's not a small target either, so yeah. 1989, Lou Piniella was named manager of the Cincinnati Reds, replacing Pete Rose, banned for life for gambling on MLB games. Good. Yeah, Pete Rose, stupid. Just absolutely stupid. So, we got an NBA record in 1990. Atlanta Hawks' center Moses Malone set an NBA record for free throws made in a career by hitting 7 of 9 in a 121-120 win over Indiana Pacers at the Omni, passes Oscar Robinson's record of 7,694. Dang. Yeah, that reminds me, Dad was talking about this, I believe, on the show the other day, but somebody was willing to teach Shaq how to free throw, but granny style, underhand and everything. And whereas it's not against the rules, you don't really do that, but he probably could have been a good free thrower had he taken up that offer, had he not let pride get in the way. You gotta do what you gotta do to win, man. So 1991, Ayrton Senna won Australian Grand Prix in Adelaide, shortest F1 race ever run, on 14 laps. Because of wet conditions, Senna retains his third World Drivers' Championship by 24 points from Nigel Mansell. 1992, I Will Always Love You, Dolly Parton cover, a single released by Whitney Houston, Billboard Song of the Year, 1993. And I'm not sure if that was the right song, but whatever. And I know I'm not a good singer. You don't need to tell me that. 1992, Democrat Bill Clinton was elected President of the United States, defeating incumbent President George H.W. Bush. Yep. Got another album release here in 1992. Rock band Rage Against the Machine released their debut album, Rage Against the Machine, featuring single Killing in the Name. Killing in the Name of... 1993, Greg Maddux became first pitcher since Sandy Koufax to win the National League Cy Young Award in successive MLB seasons, and the first in successive seasons with different teams. Cubs in 1992 and Braves in 1993. All right. 1996, Los Angeles Lakers superstar Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, became the then youngest player to make his NBA debut at the age of 18 years, 2 months, and 11 days in a 91-85 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves, don't you know? At the Great Western Forum. Rest in peace, Mamba, dude. At least you're not suffering like the rest of us. Got some more sports history. The same year, 1996, San Francisco 49ers receiver Jerry Rice grabbed 3 passes for 45 yards and a touchdown to become first player in NFL history to reach 1,000 career receptions in 24-17 win over New Orleans Saints. Finished his career with 1,549. You couldn't squeeze one more out? Come on, 1,550. Make it even. Come on. 1997, U.S. racing legend Bill Schumacher retires from thoroughbred training with a 90 winners from 713 start record. Road record 8,833 winners as a jockey before becoming a trainer in the year of 1990. So he retired for training. So he was training for 7 years. So dang. Wow. So how much horse racing is there? Jeez. We got a film premiere in 1998, Shakespeare in Love, directed by John Madden. John Madden? What? That can't be the same John Madden. And starring Gwyneth Paltrow and Joseph Fiennes, premiered in New York, Best Picture of 1999. Hold on a second. Shakespeare in Love, John Madden. Let's see here. Is this the same John Madden? Joseph Fiennes, John Madden, Shakespeare in Love. Okay, why are you not letting me know? Directed by John Madden. Is this a different John Madden? Okay, yeah. Of course, it's a different John Madden. Wouldn't that be a sight to see, the football John Madden, directing a play? No, you gotta go there, and then you gotta exit, and then circles and exits, and then place, and then football. 1999, Los Angeles Lakers debuted in the Staples Center with 103-88 win versus Vancouver Grizzlies. I don't know why I said it that way. Magic Johnson and Chick Hearn co-host ceremony unveiling Lakers retired jerseys and championship banners in new building. Yep, the Staples Center, not far, 20 miles, so not far relatively. But, hey, something interesting about Staples, go look it up. Look up on image search the Staples sign. And the L is a staple. The top one is bent. So, moving on up into the year 2002, Federation Cup Women's Tennis, Gran Canaria, Spain. Janet Husarova defeated Spaniard and Aranska Sanchez Vicario 6-0, 6-2 to give Slovakia their first title 3-1. That's cool. 365 days later, 2003, Grant Fuhr, Pat LaFontaine, Red Wings owner Mike Ilitch, and Ottawa's '67 coach Brian Kilries were inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Cool. Guy's bald head. Why is it reminding me of something? 2007, Pervez Musharraf declared emergency rule across Pakistan, suspended the constitution, imposed a state of emergency, and fired the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. That is not a good thing. That is very alarming, and something like that might be coming here to the States really soon, as well as everywhere else around the world. So, 2009, 23rd Soul Train Music Awards. Michael Jackson, Charlie Wilson, and Chaka Khan won. Just channeled Howard Cosell. I don't know who Howard Cosell is, but okay. I didn't realize I was a medium. Let me channel famous people. Anyway, 2013, Bobby Orr's autobiography, Or My Story, debuted as the number 8th position on the New York Times bestseller list for nonfiction. Okay. It's an interesting title. Or My Story. Or My Story. Or His Story. Or Their Story. Here we go. 2014, New York's 104-story One World Trade Center officially opened 13 years after September 11th, 2001 attacks. Why are we using the 9/11 image for One World Trade Center? That is not the building at all. And personally, I wish the whole area would have remained a plaza. But whatever. Moving on up into 2014 as well, United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon called for global action on climate change after warning from scientists. Here we go. This is where it starts. Here we go. It's super ethereal. 2019, British Mercedes driver and defending champion Lewis Hamilton finished second in the U.S. Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, to clinch his 6th F1 Drivers' World Championship. I've seen this guy no less than 4 times in the past 3 days. What the hell? 2019 as well, Olivia Newton-John's black leather outfit from the film Grease sold for $405,700 at auction in Beverly Hills, California. That's an expensive jacket. And then, I don't even want to read this one. This is just absolutely disgusting. So, before we move on into births and deaths, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything that you wish I had elaborated on, I had researched a little bit more? Anything that you would like to add on? Start a dialogue in the comment section below. Howard Costello was a well-known sportscaster for Muhammad Ali. Okay. Alright. Howard Costello? I was just like, wait. Wasn't I talking about Abbott and Costello earlier? Like, Howard Cosell. Okay. Yeah, where's the Golden Loon? Where's my sports people? I need my sports people. Anyway, let's move on into bursts here. Starting us off in the year 39, we have Lucan, was a Latin poet, Belém Seville, born in Cordova, Spain. Moving on up, we have Stephen F. Austin, born on this date in 1793. He founded and helped colonize the U.S. state of Texas, born in Austinville, Virginia, dying in 1836. So, anybody out there in the state of Tejas, as the Spanish people would say, because X is pronounced ha, not but yeah, Tejas. This guy helped you out, so really cool. Let's see here. Blanche Bingley. 1863, a British tennis player, Wimbledon 1886, 89, 94, 97, 99, and 1900. Born in Granford, England, dying in 1946. Dang. So she was 23 years old when she started. And yeah, then she lived like 46 more years after she ended. That's really cool. Pretty good resume to, like, rest on your laurels, so to speak. That's a cool outfit too. Women should dress like this again. Have some modesty. So then we have William George Barker, 1894, Canadian fighter ace, Victoria Cross recipient, born in Dauphin, Manitoba, dying in 1930. So yeah, first World War flying ace. Cool. We have André Marlax, French novelist and art historian, La Condition Humaine, born in Paris, France, dying in 1976. And Bronco Nagurski, 1908, a Canadian U.S. College and Pro Football Hall of Fame fullback, Chicago Bears, born in Rainy River, Ontario, Canada, dying in 1990. No, your tablet is just honing into the sound of your voice. The reason it's good that it doesn't fully understand yet. Keep it guessing. Paraguayan officer, dictator, and Alfredo Stroessner, 1912, Paraguayan army officer, dictator, and 42nd president of Paraguay, 1954 through 89, born in Encarnacion, Paraguay, dying in 2006. And he shall not be missed. Bob Feller, I've heard this name, a U.S. Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher, born on this date in 1918. He has 8-time MLB All-Stars, American League Triple Crown 1940, 3-time no-hit games for the Cleveland Indians, born in Van Meter, Iowa, dying in 2010. Wow, 3 no-hit games. That is remarkable. We have Charles Bronson. Why does that name sound so familiar? Charles Bronson. Why does that name sound so familiar? Bronson. Huh. He is a U.S. actor, Magnificent Seven, Death Wish, Dirty Dozen, born in Edgersfield, Pennsylvania, dying in 2003. Action Bronson. That's why I'm remembering Bronson. Okay. We have Amartya Sen, 1933, an Indian economist and Nobel Prize laureate, welfare economics and social choice theory, born in Santiniketan, West Bengal, India. 89 years old today. Happy birthday. Michael Dukakis, 1933, governor of Massachusetts from 1975 through 79, as well as 83 through 91, and 1988 Democratic presidential nominee, born in Brookline, Massachusetts. Brookline, not Brooklyn. Roy Emerson, what's with your hair, dude? 1936, an Australian tennis player, 12 Grand Slam singles titles, mate. Born in Blackpool, Queensland, Australia, buddy. Oh yeah, that much. And we have Gerd Muller, 1945, German soccer striker, 62 caps, FIFA World Cups, 1974, Bayern Munich, 453 games, 398 goals, born in Northampton, Germany, dying just last year in 2021. That's unfortunate. August 15th, so it's already passed. That sucks. We have Anna Wintour, 1949, English-American editor, editor of the U.S. Vogue, born in London, England. Larry Holmes, 1949 as well, a U.S. boxer, world heavyweight champion, 20 successful title defenses, born in Guthbert, Georgia. Dang, a lot of births today. David Ho. Oh, is this the doctor? This Dr. Ho? 1952, a Taiwanese U.S. pioneering HIV/AIDS researcher, born in Taichung, Taiwan. This is not the same Dr. Ho. I was thinking about the one from JonTron, the guy with the weird inflatable neck support thing. Roseanne Barr, hey. 1952, a U.S. comedian and TV star, Roseanne, born in Salt Lake City, Utah. She's still alive today and living the life of Riley with all that TV money there. Doesn't matter what happened to her. She can take all the Ambien she wants. Moving on up, we have Colin Kaepernick. God damn it. 1987, a U.S. NFL quarterback protests kneel during national anthem. San Francisco 49ers, born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Piece of garbage. Piece of garbage. Kendall Jenner, 1995, U.S. model and TV personality, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, another piece of garbage here. Born in Los Angeles, California. Well, that explains why she's so trashy. And moving on up into deaths, starting us off in the year 361 AD, we have Constantinius II, Roman Emperor of 337 through 61, died at the age of 44. He was born in 317. We have Olympe de Gouges, French playwright and revolutionary, Declaration of the Rights of Women and the Female Citizen, executed by guillotine at 45. So that is, that's not a good end. So, those French people always losing their heads, man. Annie Oakley, 1926, a U.S. sharpshooter, Buffalo Bills Wild West, died of pernicious anemia at the age of 66. Born in 1860. What the hell is this? Hold on a second. Anemia. Oh no. What is anemia and symptoms? Pernicious anemia is when the body cannot absorb enough vitamin B12 in the small intestine, causing a drop in red blood cells. This causes fatigue, weakness, headaches, and weight loss. That's not good. We have Alfred Wegener, 1930, a German polar researcher and meteorologist, continental drift, died while on an expedition to Greenland at the age of 50. The date is approximate. He was born in 1880. Oh, dang. So continental drift, so the whole, shifting of continental, plates and tectonics and all that whatnot. Fairly new thing of science, 100, 150 years old, not that old. Then we have Emile Roux, died on this date in 1933, a French physician, bacteriologist, immunologist who developed the first diphtheria vaccine and co-founded the Pasteur Institute, died at the age of 79. What is diphtheria? I've never heard of that before. Let's see here. It is a serious infection of the nose and throats that's easily preventable by a vaccine. A sheet of thick gray matter covers the back of the throat, making breathing hard. Symptoms include sore throat, fever, swollen lymph nodes, and weakness. Treatments include antibiotics and the antitoxin that neutralizes the diphtheria toxin. A vaccine is available. So, just be careful before you start sticking yourself with needles. God only knows what's in those. In 1954, French painter and sculptor Dance the Second, we have Henri Matisse, dying at the age of 84. So, Dance the Second, Henri Matisse, Dance the Second. Let's see here. Let's see, images. Okay. They're naked. Wonderful. Okay, moving on up into 1962. We have Harlow Curtrice, was a president of General Motors from 1953 to 58, dying at the age of 69, born in 1893. You mean Government Motors. We have Mary Martin, 1990, U.S. actress, Peter Pan and Larry Hagman's mom, died of cancer at the age of 76, was born in 1913. She, why do all actresses look the same? She kind of looks like, a young Lucy. Or like an overly make-up Lucy. I don't know. From I Love Lucy. Here we have Jean Bedel Bokassa, 1996, President and later Emperor of the Central African Republic. He was President from 1966 through 1977 and Emperor from 1977 through 1979, dying of a heart attack at the age of 75. Central African Republic. And then we have Bob Forsch, 2011, a U.S. MLB baseball pitcher, 1974 through 1989 for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Houston Astros, dying of a thoracic aortic aneurysm at the age of 61. That is something to do with the hearts. Let me look that up here. A thoracic aortic aneurysm is a weakened area in the body's main artery, aorta, in the chest. Where the aortic wall is weak, the artery may widen. When the vessel is significantly widened, it is called an aneurysm. A thoracic aortic aneurysm is also called a thoracic aneurysm. Okay. And who else died today? Nobody. I guess we'll just take this guy. Last year, 2021, Warren Powers, a U.S. football running back for the Oakland Raiders and coach for Washington State University of 1977, University of Missouri, 1978 through 84, dying of Alzheimer's at the age of 80. That is awful. Alzheimer's is one of the absolute worst ways to go. I'd rather die in a fire than die not knowing who's around me. That's just awful. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar, the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. I have got to start talking slower. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander, and for your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!